What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the video. I really appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed to the channel and you're into hunting, fishing, and especially gardening, and especially here in Florida, I invite you to subscribe. And if you already subscribed, thank you so much. I wanted to share a hunt with you guys today that actually took place a couple weeks ago on Florida public land, and it's a successful hog hunt that started off as a deer hunt, but sometimes being opportunistic is what keeps the freezer full of meat. It started off with me, parking in an area. Get a little bit closer. It started off with me parking in an area, and I have this new bicycle that my wife gave me for Christmas. It's a fat tire bicycle. It's a pedal bicycle. It's not an electric bicycle. And I ended up pedaling back 3.2 miles from where I parked my truck. And then I ended up locking the bike to a tree, and then I walked another 670 yards through a big wide open palmetto flat to a swamp, and then I walked about another 170 yards through the swamp to get to a little island. So that's where the hunt technically takes place, but I wanted to give you guys a perception of how far back I had to go. Like I said, I was looking for deer, and I thought I was on deer. I get to this island, and I pick a tree to climb, and it's super thick with vegetation. In a second, I'll put a little video clip up showing what it looks like from the top of the tree. Super thick with vegetation, and as soon as I get to the tree that I want to climb, I bust something out of a bed, probably 15 yards ahead of me. It takes off, but it doesn't go far, and it blows, which is indicative of a deer, typically. I hear this thing blow, I'm thinking it's a deer, and I actually blow back to try to imitate that I'm just another deer. It blows again, I blow again, and then I stomp my foot 3 times. I do this quite regularly when I'm hunting, trying to fool a deer that maybe I'm just another deer. The wind is in my favor, it's in my face, and the animal's out in front of me. At this point, I hear a grunt, just one singular grunt. I also see a tree thrashing like something is just raking it with its rack. So again, I'm thinking there's a buck out ahead of me. And, I decide to get set in a tree, even though I have this animal right here. So as the wind would gust, I would climb the tree, because it was a pretty gusty day that day. So I get 3/4 of the way up the tree, and I hear the animal take off again, and I hear it splash around some water, so I know the area that it's in, near the edge of this island. And then I hear, what I perceive to be a buck rubbing on a tree. And then it stops. I could tell it beds down, so I stay set. Throughout the next couple hours, I can hear a little bit of movement here and there. I know where the animal is, 20 yards or so ahead of me, just through this thick brush. I heard the animal sneeze. So again, I'm thinking there's a buck out ahead of me, and I'm just waiting for him to get up and move. Well, about 15 minutes before last legal shooting light, I can hear the animal start moving. So I'm getting ready, my adrenaline's rushing, I'm getting excited. And now I can hear 2 different animals grunting, and I hear what sounds like animals mating. So I'm thinking, well, maybe this buck is back here with a doe, okay? I even text that to my wife. I think I just heard these things mate, And so I can hear, what I'm thinking are the deer now walking the edge of this island, because I can hear them in the water. And I'm ready with my gun that if I see a legal buck, I'm gonna let them have it. And I should be seeing these deer above the vegetation, and I'm not seeing anything. So it starts to hit me that these aren't deer. that these are hogs, okay? Now it's almost last shooting light, and I get a view at the first hog, and I decided, you know, this whole time what I've thought was deer is actually pigs, and I can't turn the meat away. So the first hog presents me with a shot, and I drill her. She drops in her tracks, and about 20 seconds later she tries to get up, and I hit her again right in the back of the head, and she's out. At that point, another hog starts running towards my tree, gets about 10 yards away, and then cuts away. I hit that hog in the neck, and it dropped in its tracks. So now I've got 2 hogs down on the ground, and this next clip comes right after those shots. Well, you guys, I'm out here for deer, to be honest, but this is what we call last light, okay? You can't, you know, I've got maybe 5 minutes of shooting light left, and I just had some hogs come through. I really wanted to shoot a deer, but I can't turn the meat away. So I just smoked 2 pigs. I'm still in my tree. I'll get down here in a second and show you guys what I got going on. All right, so right after I recorded that little clip there, and you could hear me or see me stop while I'm talking and kind of listen, because I thought I heard something else, and sure enough I did. There was a big boar with these 2 sows, and he kind of had me pinned up for a little bit, because he went right over to where the first sow was laying there. You know, she had expired, and he just wouldn't leave. So I decided I had just enough light that I could still see through my scope. So I put the scope on him, and I let it rip, and it hit him, and he ran off, and he went probably 30 yards through the swamp in the water. I could hear him splashing around, but he just came right back, and he was not leaving. You know, I could tell that he was going to be a pain in the ass, if you know what I mean. And I've already had one experience this year getting charged and scratched up by a hog. So I decided just to let those hogs lay and try to sneak off this little island, get back to my bicycle, and then run out to my truck. So that's what I proceeded to do. The next little clip is after I get in the truck. All right, guys. I don't know why or how I get myself in these situations, but wait, here comes help, I think. Hold on, let me see. Hold on a second. Hey. Yo. All right, well, as you can see, there's someone following me. That's a good thing about, you know, knowing people, being good to people at hunt camp. When you don't come back, they come looking for you. All right, so at this point, I had some help. I had a disabled buddy that has a 4-wheeler permit, and he was able to at least get me back there. And he actually did end up having the energy to walk the 800 or so yards to where these hogs were, and he actually hauled out the little one for me, which I was very appreciative, because I already had a hard time, I should say, you know, getting the big hog out by myself. So he pulled the little hog out, I pulled the big hog out. I'll show a couple little clips. You can see that you know, the steam is just pouring off of me. I was exhausted. It took about 2.5 hours to pull those hogs through that palmetto flat. I mean, he was having an easy time, but you know, for me, pulling that 155-pound hog by myself, it took me about 2.5 hours. So we ended up getting him to the truck, taking him to the check station, weighing him up. The little one weighed 55 pounds, and the big one weighed 155 pounds. And You know, I think altogether I ended up getting just over 31 pounds of usable meat, you know, after cleaned and deboned and everything like that. So I'm really appreciative, and it just kind of shows that even though sometimes you're out there for deer, you know, if hogs present themselves right at last light, you know, sometimes you got to take them, because that's what fills the freezer. Well, you guys, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired, and this is what we're dealing with here. Decent little hog, pretty monster size hog there. Not monster, 155 pound sow and a 55 pound sow. Man, I'm tired, but I gotta clean these pigs up, get them in the cooler, get some sleep. Just wanted to show you guys what I got going on here. Another successful hunt.